if I could rewind time and go back to 17 years from when I first started in the business, these are some of the things I would tell you that would be very influential in making your success happen. It is consistency, consistency, consistency. It is build your database. I'll never forget when I first got into business, I went and found Top Producer as a CRM, and my brokerage said, oh, you don't need that. Worst advice I ever got. Thankfully, I continued on my journey of building my database. I was in the car business before, so I had a database that I followed up with because I was always number 1 or number 2 salesperson, but I constantly followed up with past clients, seeing how they're doing. Did they need anything from service? Could I walk them through and make things better? Same thing we do with our clients now. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Fortune is in your follow up, so make sure you're doing these things. I would have joined a team right out of the gate because I would have found, how am I taking the learning curve out of all this rather than me going to build and find all this data. In 2006, the internet was not nearly what it is now. The data was not there, so I'd say join a team because you're going to take your learning curve out of things. If you stay on the team, great. If you decide not to, hey, you've just fast forwarded your career. That's totally up to you. And some people are going to take it, you're going to build their own team. Others are going to say, hey, I really love it here, I get enough support, and I'm happy. The other thing is, what do you, when you look at your team splits, there's always, how is that money being invested back into the team? What are my benefits from it? Am I getting support? Am I getting leads? Am I getting training? Am I getting somebody building me up rather than tearing me down? Am I getting personal development? And every one of us have to go work on these things ourselves, but you're getting that kind of support. So I would love to find somebody as a mentor right out of the gate. Finding a mentor is key. Find who in the industry. I think of some of my best friends in the industry were my mentors when I first got in. I would go have lunch, like, hey, would you have lunch with me? Hey, would you have lunch with me? Go find as many people that you look up to. Find the one that fits you, because sometimes you go and meet with them and you're like, oh, I don't like their style of business, or hey, we don't really mesh as much as I thought. But dig deeper with those people. The other thing is dig deeper with questions. The better your questions are, the better you'll be. Role play. These are all simple things. If you don't have a role play partner, find somebody. There's so many people in the industry that are not role playing. These are crucial. What are your success habits? Are you tracking them? So have some kind of accountability sheet. What are you, like, how many calls am I guaranteed that I am going to make today? Or is it, hey, I'm going to stay in the office until I make an appointment, no matter what. If I may be here till 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight, I have to make an appointment. What is it that you're committing to? Because it's not just a goal, it's what are your commitments. And I think sometimes people think too heavily of like, oh, I want all these lofty goals, but they're too busy looking through the window and not really reflecting of what is it my goals that's sustainable in the first year. Because a lot of times we overestimate what we're going to do in 1 year, right? But we underestimate by far what we can do in 5 years. I think of the compounding effect over time, but it is your consistency more than anything else. What are you doing? Just like, losing weight. If you want to lose weight, write down what you're doing. Track what you're putting in your mouth. Every time you go to do it, are you writing down what you're putting in your mouth? Are you tracking your exercise? Are you tracking your consumption of water, alcohol, any of those things that you're doing and consuming? Make sure you write them down. Get on a scale. The scale tells you is a lag measure. It's not a leading measure. It lags and tells you the next day how you did the day before. But be consistent no matter what. Read. Listen to podcasts. Listen to stuff that's going to be personal development that's going to move your business forward. I was constantly reading books. I was constantly listening to things, reading things, going to conferences. I would tell you attend 3 to 5 conferences a year. I know we just came out of COVID and it's been a little bit harder, but there's plenty of conferences to go to. You can find them local, you can find them far away. Network, put them in your database. These people that you meet at conferences, put them in your database. They're going to be follow-ups. Make sure when you put a new listing out, they get a copy of it. They know that you're doing business in the industry. You just want to be top of mind. Don't get your feelings hurt when they unsubscribe because they get too much email. Just stay in contact. Check in once in a while with them. A phone call once a quarter makes a huge difference. Going back to database, build that database. Qualify them. A pluses, A's, B's, and C's. A plus would be like a top 50 for us. Those 50 people I'm talking to every month. I'm contacting them every month. Those people I'm supporting, I'm checking in, seeing how their family is, not trying to sell them anything. I just want to be top of mind for real estate. When you start caring about people more than you care about yourself, amazing what will happen. But you also then make sure you take care of yourself, because I got to the point where I was selling 138 homes myself, and then I was not taking care of myself. And if I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of anybody else. So make sure your health, number one, make sure your mental stability, all that comes into health. Make sure you're doing these things. Listen to 15 minutes something positive in the morning, or read for 15 minutes, a book. turn off the news. You're not going to miss it. So hopefully these are some things, and I hopefully didn't give you too much. I know it's a little over 5 minutes of giving you information, but I hope that makes a huge impact in your real estate career. Have a great day.